Ma'am, the streaming has started. Please proceed.
Yeah. I hope I had revised through all the topics which we had done through the last session, and we had done with. I'll just have a quick revision of what we were doing in the last session. Okay, in the last session we were doing mainly the concepts. We did various concepts, and then we revised the 500 series. Yeah, 500 series. Then after that, we revised 700 series, right? And yes, I will show you that particular page also. Yeah. Yeah. This was the thing which we have done. We did with audit evidence. What is audit? Audit report, misstatement, materiality, pervasiveness, corroborative, right? We stopped with it. Plus, very important, we were discussing the RTP. RTP means mainly RTP MCQ. 1 second, I'll just check the streaming. Is the screen visible? One second, just give me a minute. 1 second. So wait, let my presentation take the place. 1 second. So guys, if all set, can we start? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Life is a race. Can we start? If all set. Can we start? If all good, can I have your reply in the chat box? If all set, can we start? You can put the reply in the chat box if all set. Okay, so okay, they'll align the screen. Okay, they will just align the screen. Don't worry, they'll just align the screen. Just give them 2 minutes. Okay, so what about others? All the topics are okay of last session. Can I have your reply? Okay. Okay, I think screen is normal now. Right. Okay. So guys, what is the target for the day? Like the last session on April 22nd, today also we will go with the first part, we will go with the concepts, right? In the concepts, we'll continue from opinion till the assertions we will continue. I've selected all the important concepts, and after that, we will go to CARO. CARO 21 clauses, I will say rapidly. So this is the concept part. And very importantly, RTP, we had discussed the MCQ part, right? Now we will be going to the, after this, we will go to the descriptive. So the target for the session is, first and foremost, the concepts are remaining from opinion till the assertions and caro. After that, we will go to the RTP. Is that okay for you? If you want to edit or anything else to add to this, if there is time, we will do. If you want, okay, ma'am, we want to know prudential norms of bank. If there is time after doing this much, let me know in the chat box so that we can discuss. But if my guess is right, once we finish this much, our time will be pakka 1:45, right? So if all set, can we start? Eda, come on, I need all your support. It's studying us like achieving excellence together. Alone, we can't do anything. Together, we will pass, right? So come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. All those who are attending live and all those who are seeing later also. Come on, support. Let's start. Okay. Now we are going to start with the next concept, first concept for the day, which is opinion. Okay, opinion. Ada, when you hear about the opinion, Ada, you can put your reply. I will be constantly seeing your replies in the live chat. Opinion. When you hear about the opinion, which essay, which series of essay will come to your mind? Which series of essay will come to your mind? Opinion, opinion, opinion. Which series will come to your mind? Opinion means it is essay. You are right. It is essay 700 series. Okay, 700 series. Now, in 700 series, 700 and 705. But I said two essays. 700 and one more essay I was saying. You remember which essay? 705. These two are dealing with the opinion. In essay 700, which opinion is dealt? Come on, guys. In essay 700, which opinion is dealt? Unmodified or unqualified, or you call it as what opinion? Clean opinion. Now, in essay 705, which opinion? We are talking about our weapon, modified opinion. Now, our heading was types of opinion, right? So, what is unmodified opinion, or when unmodified opinion can be given? When FS are free of. Come on, guys, when FS are free of. Always we say no from essay 200, free of material misstatement. And whenever you write for the exam, material misstatement, add material misstatement due to fraud or error. Meaning, auditor has no, come on guys, adverse or negative comments. Now, financials are prepared as per, and our financials are prepared as per AFRF. Financial statements complies with the, complies with laws and regulations. Meaning, we are going to express opinion. So what are the wordings of the opinion? Either we say, may I know the opinion wordings? Either we say financial statement shows true and fair view. Now there is another way of saying FS prepared in all what aspects? Prepared in all material aspects. Whenever you express unmodified, unqualified, clean opinion, indirectly indicates that, implicitly it indicates that all are properly, may I know this word? All are properly, what in FS? All are properly disclosed. Disclosed in FS. So this is the first type of opinion, which is unmodified or unqualified or clean opinion as per essay which is say 700. Are we clear with first type of opinion, which is unmodified or unqualified opinion, clean opinion? Right, if so, may I have a proceed to the second type of opinion, guys? What is the second type of opinion? Which is, come on, life is a race, run. Second, modified opinion. Modified opinion is as per which essay? It is essay 705. Okay. Now, as per essay 705, when an auditor will give modified opinion, when, Eppam, when auditor will give a modified opinion in two cases. What are those two cases? One, based on audit evidence. AE is audit evidence. Audit evidence obtained. Auditor concludes FSR not free of. Here we said free. There we are saying not free of material misstatement due to fraud or error. Meaning FS has material misstatement. Meaning you can't express what opinion. Okay, if there is material misstatement, you can't express unmodified, you have to go for modified. Second, unable to obtain. Whenever you hear obtain, unable to obtain sufficient and appropriate evidence to conclude whether FS are free of material misstatement due to fraud or, meaning you can't obtain, unable to obtain evidence. Is it and or? May I have your reply? Both the case you will modify or either the case you will modify. It is or. Either the case you will modify the opinion. Either if there is material misstatement or unable to obtain evidence. Now this is as per essay 705. 705. Now how many types of modified opinion are there? How many types of modified opinion? 3 types are there, right? What are those 3 types? I just want the keyword to be said. How many types? 3 types. What are those 3 types, guys? It can be either qualified, or it can be adverse, or it can be disclaimer. And I just want to know a word. Like, how do you determine whether it is qualified, adverse, disclaimer? How? 3 things you have to see. While determining qualified, adverse, disclaimer, 3 things you have to see. What are the 3 things which you have to evaluate? May I have your reply with respect to that? Whether we have to give a clean, whether qualified, whether adverse, whether disclaimer. 3 things we have to evaluate. What are those 3 things which we have to evaluate? First 2 you have said. First, Adil, before that, what you have to evaluate? Whether there are uncorrected misstatements. Uncorrected misstatements. When you hear some other essay should come to your mind. Anyone? Evaluate the effect of uncorrected misstatements. Any essays came to your mind? Evaluate the effect of uncorrected misstatements. Essay 450. Second, whether you have obtained sufficient and appropriate evidence. Now third, the concept which we studied in the last session, pervasiveness. So guys, you have to do these 3 things. Okay, uncorrected misstatements you will evaluate, evidence you will evaluate, and pervasiveness. Then only you will conclude whether it is qualified, adverse, or. Now, if it is qualified, you will use the word. May I know that word? Dash. Financial shows true and fair view. You know, if I say that word will come, I wanted you to say There are misstatements not pervasive. There is unavailability of evidence, unavailability of evidence not pervasive. Okay. Other than this, rest is okay. There is a word which we use for that. In our opinion, we say except. This word is very important. Except this, the financial statement shows true and fair. In audit report chapter, can you guys reply? Where do you state reasons for qualifications? Which content you will state? Except the matter stated in dash paragraph, financial statement shows true and fair view. Where you will state the reasons. Reasons are stated in which paragraph? Is it in title, addressee, opinion, basis, material uncertainty, key audit matter? Where? Except for the matter stated in basis for opinion para. Reasons are stated in which paragraph, guys? Very good. Basis for opinion para. Now, when will you go for adverse? When there are material misstatement, pervasive. So what you will give? Opinion, what we will say? Does not show. Here we said except, no. Here you will say does not or do not show true and fair view. Because of the matter stated in, use that word, because of the matter stated in basis for opinion para, it does not show. Basis for adverse opinion para, it does not show true and fair view. But when will you give disclaimer? Life is a race. Come on. Unavailability or unable to obtain evidence. Okay, unable. Unable to obtain evidence, which is pervasive. So here, how will you express the opinion here? You can't express opinion. So you will say, we don't know. So you will say, unable to express opinion. Because of the matter stated in basis for disclaimer of opinion para. Are we clear with the types of opinion? Modified opinion, the content is from essay 700. Unmodified opinion, sorry. Unmodified opinion, essay 700 and modified opinion, essay 705. So let me know if there is any doubt. Kindly take rest for 1 minute and then say proceed. I want to take an oral test. Oral test means I will ask you a few questions and I want your reply. So can you say whether you are okay and then say proceed. Okay. Just take 1 minute rest. Let's recall this and then say proceed so that I'll just give you an oral test. Oral test means I'll just ask you a few questions. Okay, Grishma. What about others? Okay, Maria. Okay, I'll do. So let me ask you a few questions. Just let me know what is your reply. If it is a disclaimer of opinion, dash will not be included in your audit report. A paragraph will not be included in audit report if disclaimer of opinion. Which paragraph will not be included in audit report if it is disclaimer of opinion? And I'm just talking about disclaimer. If disclaimer of opinion, which paragraph will not be included in your audit report? Very good. Key audit matter para will not come as per. At a basis for opinion will come. Altafe, basis will come. I said which para will not be included. Basis will come. Answer is key audit matter as per essay 701. Now, In case of disclaimer of opinion, auditor has an option to dash from the engagement. That's only for disclaimer of opinion. Huh? Auditor has an option to what from the engagement? Only in case of disclaimer, not for qualified or adverse. Mainly in case of disclaimer, if it is limitation by management, he can dash from the engagement. What auditor may withdraw from engagement. So withdraw option is there if it is disclaimer due to limitations by management. Now, last question. If it is disclaimer of opinion, which all content will be amended? May I know audit report, which all content will be amended if disclaimer of opinion? 1. Altaf, you were saying no. 1. Basis for opinion para will not contain a statement that auditor has obtained sufficient and appropriate evidence. You remember basis for opinion para, there is a sentence, we believe we have obtained sufficient and appropriate evidence. That will not be there. Second, come on, which other content will be amended? The opinion para, we have conducted the audit. The starting of opinion para is we have conducted the audit. If it is disclaimer, you have not conducted, you have not obtained audit. You were appointed to conduct the audit. That should be amended. Then, even auditor's responsibility paragraph, that should be also slightly changed. So with that, we are winding up the types of opinion. Are we clear with the types of opinion, guys? So as we said, we are revising the concepts, no? So I was just revising the concepts of opinion. So opinion means we were indirectly saying about the SA 700 and 705. So take rest for 1 minute and let's bash towards the next concept. So take rest. After that, let's go to the next concept. Now we have a big thing before us, which is the RTP. RTP like MCQ is over. You remember that we discussed MCQ in RTP? All the MCQs in last session. Now today there is bigger thing, which is descriptive. So we need more time. So before that, let's finish off the concepts, okay? If you guys are ready, let me know by saying ready, ready, ready. R. Put RR in the chat box. So second concept for the session, today's session, it is types of opinion framework. Makla, if ready, put RR, ready, ready. So I'm just catching this and then going to the next one. Huh? Okay. Types of opinion framework. Now don't get confused. Now we were saying about types of opinion. Now I'm saying about types of opinion framework. Types of opinion framework. Anyone? How many opinion framework is there? How many opinion framework? There are 2 types of opinion framework. Two. What are those 2 types of opinion framework? One is called as the fair presentation framework. Fair presentation framework. Second framework is called as what? Second framework is called as compliance presentation framework. Yeah, these are the 2 types of framework. Huh? See, this is continuation of what we discussed here. See, in the opinion para, we either say financial statement shows true and fair view. Or we say prepared in all material aspects. This is called as fair presentation framework. This is called as the compliance presentation framework. Both you will use, is it and or is it or? Either you will use while expressing the opinion. Is it and or is it or? Either of these framework you will use. So in the fair presentation framework, you say financial statement shows a true and fair view. Shows true and fair view. In compliance presentation framework, you will say what? Financial statements prepared in all material aspects. Here you will say in all material aspects. So this content is there mainly therein. They are saying in essay 200 and mainly in essay 700. Why 700? Opinion, right? I'm not talking about types of opinion. That's already over. Qualified, unqualified, adverse, disclaimer, 4 types. Here we are talking about, don't forget this, types of opinion framework. May I have your reply with proceed if this is clear? Last page was types of opinion. Now we said about types of opinions framework. How those opinion can be expressed in these 2 frameworks. Can I proceed to the next one? Because it's very small. Continuation only. Next one, next one, next one, next one, next one, next one. Proceed. Now we are talking about types of FS. Now you guys will say standalone and consolidated FS. That's right. No, I'm not asking about standalone and consolidated. I'm asking something else. Anyone? See, there are general purpose financial statements and one more. Stress. What was the second one? Stress. You're right. General purpose financial statements. Put down the model. One more is there. It's also there. Special purpose financial statement. Now, fair presentation and true and fair view, that is different. Stress, you are saying about types of opinion framework. I am asking you about types of FS. Stress, both are different, no? So here it is general purpose FS and special purpose FS. See, opinion, you are thinking from whose angle? Maklai, don't confuse yourself. Let's have clarity. Opinion, you are thinking from whose angle? Auditor. Whereas types of FS, you are thinking from whose angle? Management or user's angle. Are we clear? Now, general purpose FS. Meaning, the usual FS, you go to the any website and download, you get the financial statements audited, no? That is general purpose. It is addressed to the, generally it is addressed to the members. Whereas special purpose, say for example, submitting to the SEBI, it is addressed to whom? Generally it is addressed to Board of Directors. So this is also referred in essay 700, addressee. In essay 700, addressee they are saying, if it is a general purpose, it is addressed to the members. If it is special purpose, it is addressed to the Board of Directors. No, it's generally addressed to Board of Directors and Board will forward to the concerned authority, Subhi. Because we are appointed by them, no? So usually it is addressed, special purpose means it's addressed to the BOD and they will forward to the concerned authority. It's generally like that. There are exceptions. Can I have your reply whether you got clarity between these three topics, especially Subhi and Shreyas? And I'm just making you clear. Don't think I'm pinpointing. So I don't want anyone to leave this class with the doubts. You should be pakka clear with the concepts. That's why this term itself is concept discussion. See, we said about the opinion for opinion. Opinion framework from auditor's angle to fair presentation, compliance presentation. Then we were discussing about types of FS, general purpose and specific purpose FS. So all these are from 700, essay 700s. Are we set? Are we clear? If set, can you put a thumbs up or put okay? Anything in the chat box? I will wait. Shreyas, you want me to explain special purpose? Special purpose FS means it's for a specific purpose. Like Infosys will prepare, I'm just saying an example. Infosys will prepare the usual FS for the members, that is general purpose. Now for submitting to the SEBI, since it's a listed company, for submitting to the SEBI, they will prepare. That is called as the specific purpose. These two types of FS is addressed from the angle of users. Auditor types of opinion. Okay, if you are ready for the next discussion, these two are very minute points. Okay, big things are coming over here. Next two is very minute, additional and alternative procedures. So if it is okay till this much, let me know by saying proceed. So before we break at 11:30, 11:30 ki break 15 minutes. Before that, I have to conclude the concepts. Maybe Caro will be pending. Other than that, everything I have to finish till here. So if this much is clear, let me know by saying proceed so that we'll continue with the next one. Okay, there are two procedures which you hear and which students also get confused in many places. Additional procedures and dash procedures. What procedures? Can you reply? Additional and, come on, what procedure? Alternative procedure. What is additional procedure? What is alternative procedure? And in layman's language, additional procedure, don't use for the exam. Additional procedure means extra. Alternative means some other procedure. Okay. Now, can you say few cases where you will perform additional procedure and say one or two places where you perform alternative procedure? Tell me one place where you will perform additional, one or two places where you perform additional procedure, one or two places where you perform alternative. One place where we perform additional procedure. Say for example, whenever there is an inconsistencies between evidences obtained, between audit evidences obtained, you may need to obtain further evidence by performing further audit procedure or APA. APA means additional audit procedures. Very good. Any other case other than this, guys? Any other case? To be management puts limitations means, is it additional or alternative? think if they don't allow, we have to go for some other procedures, right? It is alternative, no? I'm asking you additional. If you can't be an observer, cannot be an observer, as on what date? As on FS date, we can say closing date. Closing date, and you performed it on a alternative date. So you have to perform additional procedures to arrive at the inventory as on balance sheet date. No. These are the few cases where you perform additional. Can you say one or two cases where you perform alternative extra procedures? If you want me to catch in this flow, when inventory observation, observing inventory is observing inventory. Come on, it is. Come on. Can't do. We use a word. Observing inventory is what? Impracticable. Practicable. You can't be an observer. Then do some other procedure. Now, management refuses to obtain what? External confirmation from confirming parties, third party. Are we clear? Maybe they can ask you a question like this. There are two procedure, additional and alternative. Give few cases where you can do additional and alternative procedure. Can you do me a favor? Or help? Come on, do a help. In which essay you hear these two points? Which essay you hear? Can you say? You hear in essay 501. In which essay you hear this? Refuses to obtain external confirmation. 505. This we hear in many places, but mainly under which essay we hear? 500. So let's not confuse ourselves and let's not by heart. Additional means it's extra procedure. Alternative means extra is additional. Alternative means some other procedures. Do you have a clarity on this, Pillare? See, whenever management is limiting you, restricting you, will you go for additional or will you go for alternative? Reply, limiting you. You will go for which procedures? Limiting you. They are not allowing you. You will go for alternative procedure. They don't allow you, at least let me do myself. So guys, indirectly essay 501, 505, 500 contents you are revising. Since it's a revision, I'm taking like this so that you will get a clarity of many essays. It's not a class, it's a revision, no? That's right. Okay, take rest for 1 minute. After that, let's proceed to the next one. Yes, Nancy, you are right. So guys, that was about additional and alternative procedures. If that is clear, let me know. We will just have a recap of withdraw from the engagement. Many places we have been saying about withdraw from the engagement. So let's have a small recap of withdraw from the engagement also. So once finished, let me know. Withdraw from the engagement, just very small topic, 5 minutes only. Many places we have been hearing withdraw, 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 withdraw. Now we are just having a consolidation of what is this withdraw when we said withdraw. So this much is clear. May I have a proceed? Okay. So guys, withdraw from the engagement. And we were discussing, no, withdraw from the engagement. You can't just withdraw from the engagement. See, in company law, yeah. Okay, Lenkanapalli, you are saying we withdraw from engagement if management is not providing information. Very good. Okay, he's saying we will withdraw from the engagement if management is not providing information. So can you just reply to your friend? So in which case he's referring to? Which case he is referring to? He's saying we will withdraw from the engagement if management is not providing information. Which case, which essay he is referring to? He's referring to mainly whenever there is a lack of information, when we will give a disclaimer of opinion, we have an option to withdraw. Makla, isn't he referring to essay 705 disclaimer of opinion? Okay. Any other case where you can withdraw other than what he said? Any other case where he can withdraw other than what he said? Is there any other case? Okay, okay. Let me put like this: limitations by management. It may be external confirmation. It may be unavailability of evidence. So be everything is covered over there. Anything other than this limitation, allade anything other than this, kuta. Preconditions. They are asking you to change terms of very good terms of engagement. They are asking you to change. If there is a unreasonable, if there is an unreasonable and you can't agree to the change in the terms and management is not allowing you to continue. This is essay 705 and which is this essay terms of engagement. Management is asking you to revise and you are not able to you're not able to revise the terms and management is not allowing you to continue, then you may withdraw. So which essay is that? Essay. At essay 210. That's right. You are again saying restriction on scope. A restriction on scope will come under this. Limitations or it can be restrictions. It comes under this. I'm asking you different cases other than that. Okay. Now, any other case? When there is a violation of dash requirement, what requirement? Ethical requirement. Arey guys, ethical requirements have been violated. You can't comply with the ethical requirements. There is a threat after accepting the audit. Chapter number 11. How many ethical requirements are there? India wants to know. Tell me, how many ethical requirements? 5, no? Integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional behavior, professional, do one thing, professional competence. Then we have 5 threats: self-interest, self-review, advocacy, familiarity. One thing I left off. Intimidation, right? Intimidation. If there is something after accepting the audit, you will withdraw. And even Caroil, they were talking about resignation of auditor. You remember Caro, which clause, guys? Caroil, clause number in Caro, clause number 18. Yes. So guys, whenever there is a issue And even fraud, I'm not writing fraud. Fraud is SA 240, it's not there in syllabus now. So whenever there is a fraud, an auditor is unable to continue the engagement. Fraud is SA 240, auditor will withdraw. So this is just a few cases where auditor will withdraw. Maklai, don't forget, ta-ta, bye-bye. Don't withdraw in a bloom. You have to communicate with management. Plus determine laws and regulation. Is it and or is it or? You will communicate with management before you withdraw. Communicate with management. Determine legal and regulatory requirements. Is it and or is it or? Both you have to see. So the answer is and. See, in company audit, it's not there. Section 140, you might study in law now. 140, you call it as resignation of auditor. You file ADT, etc. Here it is not resignation. In SC language, you call it as withdraw. Withdraw from audit? No, we say withdraw from engagement. You were saying restrictions, limitation, many example you were saying, right? Lenkala, all this example you were saying falls in this. Okay, so that's why I didn't write that. Everything you were saying, no, everything falls in this particular case. Where it's a case where even Subi, you were also saying, no, external confirmation, that also falls in that Malak. It's all the case. Both of you were saying cases where you have to give disclaimer. So take rest and let me know whether this is clear. If clear, put clear, see. Okay. So one more minute, then let me know by saying proceed. Next is something big going to come, very big. Actually, it is something from chapter 1, which we have not discussed last session. Yeah. Standards. So 1 minute rest. After that, let me know. 11:30, I'll give you the break. Before the break, we have to finish 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more concepts. That will finish. Grishma, you are unstoppable. Huh? Proceed, proceed, proceed. So guys, let me just address one thing. Now students are like messaging. I'll just take 1 minute off while you take rest. And they are saying, ma'am, we are forgetting one thing. Second, portion is not moving. Third, we feel we have studied, but we don't get a satisfaction. These are the 3 complaints. Anyone having these 3 complaints, either of these 3? If yes, say yes. Forgetting, portion is not moving, all those 3. I know at least half of you would have these complaints. Let me say you to get 100% satisfaction and then proceed for the examination, it is nearly, what I feel is nearly it is impracticable to my knowledge, mainly because our syllabus is vast. One thing. Second thing is forgetting. I think I've addressed the forgetting thing. Forgetting thing is which is what to say, which is part and parcel of a theory subject, guys. You can't avoid that. You read today, next day when you take it, you feel like it is forgetting. But once you read it, it will come to your mind. I think I've told you my example in the last session, I'm not repeating. So forgetting is only something which you feel, that too in the tension. And the third thing, portion is not moving. That is something. First two, that's just your feeling that you have to ignore it. Next step, last thing, portion is not moving. That is mainly because you guys are thinking too much and you guys are being tensed. Now, don't be tensed at this time. I know it's very easy for me to say, ningal tension. If you guys are being tensed, one, your portion will not move. Second, don't think about the result right now. You do your best, let the result speak out what you have done. Trust the process and it will fall in your way. Ada, did you understand what I said? Portion is not moving, that you have to take care, guys. That's mainly because you guys are thinking too much. You will think, oh, I have forgotten, you keep on. Just keep a schedule. Chapter number 1, we will finish off in 2 hours or 1 hour. Do it. Even if you feel you're forgotten in 1 hour, 2 hours, you have to wind up because 100% chapter number 1 with satisfaction you can't do because 10 other chapters are there. Okay, did you hear what I said? Right now, all these three things will be there, or either of these three will be there. So don't hang on with these three. Forgetting will happen. Just keep on revising. Trust me, Bullare, it's not just my experience. It's the experience of many other students who have said, ma'am, what you said was right. It's my personal experience also. So guys, trust in the process which you are doing. Once you do, keep on doing and do the revision properly. Okay, so each time for each chapter, have a 5 to 10 minutes revision. That's why I say revision is important. Bigile mukyam. What? Revision is very important. For every chapter, 5 to 10 minutes, have a summary. That's why I make summary video. Not only summary video, I used to say to students, have a proper summary for every chapter. Summary will help you a lot. Will you guys try that out? Don't get stuck. Keep revising. Have a proper summary for every chapter. Whenever you feel you are not able to move or you feel forgetting, look at that summary and then proceed. Summary means now don't go behind one chapter for 1 hour, 2 hour. That's waste. A chapter summary means 5 to 10 minutes, maximum 15 minutes. Okay, can you acknowledge all those who are in the live? Can you acknowledge? Even more I want to talk, just because lack of time, I'm controlling myself. Now, don't waste your time, Gato, thinking about all those things. So can we proceed to the standards? Or something very big going to come. Breathe in and give me ready. This is something from chapter number 1. Okay. Chapter number 1, nature, objective and scope of audit. Very important basics. Last session, I think we have not discussed on that. That's why. Okay. And there are totally 5 sets of standards. And I want your 200% support. 5 sets of standards which has been issued by AASB, Auditing Assurance Standard Board. Vigneshwar, not SA 200, 210, 220, not like that, Vignesh. I want the standard cumulatively. First set of standards are called as SA, Standards on Auditing. In which engagement? These essays are used for which engagement? Audit engagement. Audit, what level of assurance you are giving, guys? Come on. Reasonable assurance. Reasonable means it is a dash level of assurance. Support, it is a high level of assurance, but not absolute or guarantee. Where you reduce the risk to a dash level. Can you reply to that? In audit, we reduce the risk to an acceptable low level. Now, in audit, we are giving assurance on what? You are giving assurance on historical financial information. Ada, you guys got it? On historical financial information to give a reasonable assurance while conducting the audit, we use a set of standards which is called as SA, which is standards on auditing. Okay, if one is clear, say 2. Before that, Vignesh, now you can say SA starts from 200 series. Series, I'm saying. It ends with, we don't have to study, we'll study in final. It ends with 800 series. Now, if SA is okay, can we go to 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2? There is something called as SRE. SRE, Standards on Review Engagement. There are two SRE here, SRE 2400 and 2410. Like SC is for audit, SRE is for SRE is for review engagement. Then review, usually review is done for interim, quarterly, half yearly, etc. Interim financial. See, since it is interim, we give only a limited assurance. But still, you have to obtain sufficient and appropriate evidence. I do agree in review, you are only giving a limited assurance. Still, evidence should be sufficient and appropriate because you are giving an assurance. Here also you are going to give opinion on what, you are going to give opinion on what? Historical financial info. So reverse angle, if you read on historical financial info, to give a limited assurance while conducting review, we use the standard called as SRE. Guys, listen, you have to obtain sufficient and appropriate evidence and you will give a review report. Now, will you do more procedure or lower procedure than audit? Come on, more or lower procedure, more or less procedure? Limited assurance, no? Less procedure, but evidence should be sufficient. Okay, if 2 is okay. May I know 3? 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Come on, 3. S. What is it, 3? SAE. There are SAE 3400, 3402, 3420. So like SA is for audit, SRE is for review. This is mainly for assurance. Here you are going to give what? Here you are going to give level of assurance. Here you are going to give either reasonable or absolute, not never absolute. Come on, reasonable or limited assurance. But now what? Other than historical financial. Varun, you want an example, Varun? I'll come back to that, Varun. Can you just wait, Varun? Can you say one example where you do this work? SAE, can you say one example where you do this work? Where you are doing, internal control, prospective financial information, But example here for SAE example is you are giving assurance on internal control. The internal control is other than historical. Prospective financial info. Prospective means again future oriented. Varun, you asked me example of this, right? Eda, you are replying to your friend. Varun is asking example of review. Review example is interim. Interim means quarterly financials. Okay. Limited assurance is otherwise called as moderate assurance. That's right. Grishma, that's something different. Let's not touch that now. And I have 1, 2, 3. Okay. May I have your proceed to 4? 4, 4, 4, 4. Come on. Yeah, quarterly financial, if you say it is review, SRE. 4. Now, fourth one is SRS. SRS is standards on related services. Related services. Where you give no assurance. Without assurance, you are doing some related services. Example, compilation services. And a compilation means you are preparing the financials for management. You're not doing the auditor. You can't do the audit and prepare financial. You're just preparing the financial. Or you are doing some agreed upon procedure like seeing the creditors. Ultimately, you're giving a report. Without any assurance, you are doing some services and you are giving a report also. That is SRS. Two SRS are there. SRS 4400 and 4410. Now, what is the last standard? And what is the last standard? There is something called as, that's over, last one, SQC. Standards on quality control, SQC1. Okay, quality control standards. Okay, when you hear about SQC1, anything else, any other standard came to your mind, guys? Anything else came to your mind? SA 220. 220 is quality control of an audit. SQC1 is quality control of the firm, meaning firm level quality control. Quality control, PP. What is PP? Policies and procedures. Yeah, it is at the firm level. So guys, to summarize, okay, once I summarize, I want your reply in the chat box. If you understood, put a smiley. Okay, otherwise, don't put. SA is for audit, reasonable assurance. SRE is for review, like interim, where you give limited only, but obtain sufficient and appropriate evidence. SA is for giving assurance, some kind of assurance, but other than historical financial. SRS is for doing some services without giving assurance, but you will give the report. Now, while you do audit or review or assurance or related services, any work, you have to maintain the quality control at the firm level. For that, you have SQC. SA 220 is also quality control, but that is specific. At an engagement level is SA 220. Firm level quality control is SQC 1. Done. Come on, guys, if it is okay and if you are happy with it, put a smiley, no? So yes, these are the summary, okay? Summary of all the standards which is issued by AASB, which is ICAI's board. Right? Right. So take rest. After this, we will go to 3 more concepts, I guess. Take rest for 1 or 2 minutes. Manikuti, I mean, timer is ticking, just 17 to 18 minutes. We have to finish off. So that we'll go for 15 minutes break. After that, when we come back, we have to go for RTP. After RTP, we will recap with CAHO. With that, our session should be over. If time permits, I will take up your doubts. Makla, are we all clear with this much till here? Only 3 more concepts, guys. Assurance engagement, risk of material misstatements, and ROMM assertion. May I have your reply? Seventh one. Clear. Right. So once you're ready, put ready so that we can go for assurance engagement. Again, it's continuation of chapter number, which one? Chapter number 1 only. What are the assurance engagement? Let me know so that we can proceed for 3 more concepts. None ready. Ninga ready? So, Ada, what was the concept which we have just seen? That's called as the assurance engagement. That's called as the assurance engagement. What is assurance engagement, guys? It's a 3-party engagement. See, 3 people are there. Who are those 3 people? Those who know this, kindly reply. Who are those 3 people? There is a person who's called as the CA. You call him as the practitioner. That's the CA. Now, he will verify the subject matter. Subject matter means it can be the FS, it can be the internal control. It doesn't matter. Okay, it is the financial or anything, which is evaluated against criteria. Criteria is the benchmark. If it is financial, whether prepared as per AFRS. If it is internal control, whether it is operating effectively. For that, practitioner will obtain sufficient and, always we say no, sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. And he will give the report. Such report is called as assurance, written assurance report. Who will prepare the subject matter? Prepared by management. Management, you call it as what? You call them as, they are the people who are responsible, no? So responsible party who are responsible to prepare this one, subject matter. For whom you will give the report? Report is given to the intended. Report is given to the report is given to the intended user. I'm not going into detail. So I'll just summarize this. Assurance engagement is an engagement in which practitioner, who is the CA, who verifies the subject matter which is prepared by the responsible party, whether it meets the suitable criteria. For that, he obtains sufficient and appropriate evidence and he gives the written assurance report to the intended users. Can you give me one or two examples of assurance engagement, guys? Arey yaar, I want examples of assurance engagement. We just had a summary of the standards. No, you guys can say very easily. Audit, we give assurance on historical financial review, even assurance. All these together, you call it as the what engagement? Assurance engagement. Is SRS an assurance engagement? May I have you reply with yes or no? SRS, you are appointed to prepare financial, compilation of financial. Is it an assurance engagement? Answer is no. For an assurance engagement, there should be a written assurance report. That should be the end result. So, are we clear with this? Only two more concepts, guys. With that, it's going to be break of 15 minutes. I know your brain needs rest. Already it's 1 hour, 15 minutes going to be. So, can we proceed? If you are okay only, let me know. We will proceed to the only two more concepts. Many. Come on, many places in auditing you have been hearing about MM. What is this? Is this the same material misstatement and risk of material misstatement? Is it same? No. See, whenever there is a material misstatements, okay. Whenever there is a material misstatements, okay. First step, what you will do? Maklaya, can you reply? First step, you have to evaluate the effect of identified misstatements. Essay. Guys, revision time, come on. So B, that's right. So whenever there is a material misstatement, you will evaluate as per SA 450. If it is uncorrected, you will modify. 705. So SA 450 you will evaluate and 705 you will modify. Now risk of material misstatements, what you will do? First step you will identify and, guys, two words which comes together, identify and assess. Identify and assess. Finally, if it is most significant, you will also report it as key audit matter. You remember CAM? Identify and assess. Come on. Identify and assess the risk of material misstatements. 315, most significant key audit matter. 701. And in layman's language, MM is wrong. Wrong means chances. It's like chances of being misstated. Makle, did you understand the link? Whenever there is material misstatement, you will evaluate and modify. 705, modify, evaluate 450. Whenever there is a material misstatement, you will do this. Now, if it is a risk, you will identify and assess as per 315, you will respond as per 330, and you can't do, you will put it as key audit matter 701. Okay, 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 okay. So now going to the last concept, which is assertion. Assertion, right? So once you are ready, give me ready, ready, ready. With that, we will go for the break and our concept discussion is over. Caro is not concept, that's separate discussion. So only one more concept, guys, assertion. So give me last ready before the break so that we can go for assertion, assertion, assertions. After this break, no? Okay, see, assertions are there in auditing. Assertions are there in three places. One is, what are you saying? Assertions are there in three places. One is in SA 500. Huh? Second is in SA 315, right? And it's there in items of FS chapter, items of FS. That chapter is also there. Altafel, that's also right. I'm just saying three places. So basically to start off, companies prepare FS in accordance with what Pulare? In accordance with the Indian GAAP. GAAP means generally accepted accounting policies, or they prepare as per accounting standards, AFRS. As an auditor, our audit comprises of verifying entities FS, accompanying records by the auditor. So assertions are, now what is assertions? Assertions are, what to say, secured loan is this much, traveling expenses this much. Assertions are what? These are the representation by, representation by whom? Representation made by management, which is embodied. Embodied means inbuilt. Embodied in audit report or FSO, which is embodied in. Now, these assertions can be either openly said in FS or which we can assume. So it can be either explicit assertion or it can be implicit assertion. Positive, negative is there. I'm not going into that. So matter stated in FS is called as the assertion. It can be explicit, directly stated, like loan is 1 crore. When we see the loan, what we imply, what we understand, what we assume, that is implicit assertion. Now, as an auditor, we have to check the financial statement assertion with respect to A, B, C, D. Come on. Altaf, you were saying that no, assertion with respect to ABCD. What is ABCD? Assertion with respect to AB means account balance, nothing but balance sheet. Balance sheet, balance sheet, balance sheet, balance sheet, assets and liabilities. Now C means class of transactions and events. Classes of transactions and events. Which is nothing but P&L account. P&L account means revenue and expense and alert. Now D stands for disclosures. Disclosures in notes. Presentation and disclosures in notes. Support karo with that break. Now Now, what are the assertions which we see with respect to account balance sheet? In SA 500 and items in FS, there is little difference in assertions. I'm just generalizing and saying, don't see one-to-one. Since it's a concept discussion, I'm just generalizing and saying, okay, in SA 500 and chapter number 5, there's a little difference. So I'm just generalizing and saying. Account balance, just take a plant and machinery. First, it's there. Is it there? Ondo, irka, is it there? You will see its existence. Okay. This thing is there. If it is there, whether I have the, what you will check, I have the rights or I have the obligation. Right to use, obligation to pay the liability. Right is for asset, obligation to pay the liability. Now after that, amount you will check. Amount, what you call amount, you call it as valuation or valuation and allocation, whatever it is. Whether value is properly allocated. Valuation. If value is okay, whether it is properly shown, presentation and disclosure. And nothing should be omitted here. Nothing should be omitted. So, what? Completeness. And in items in FS chapter 5, they are adding one more thing, cutoff. Cutoff means assets and liabilities belonging to the current year. It should be shown in the balance sheet. Whether assets and liabilities are there, if so, whether it belongs to us, if so, amount is proper, if so, properly presented and disclosed as per AFRF, applicable financial reporting framework, nothing is omitted, completeness, cutoff belonging to the current year. That's the flow. So can we go to class of transaction? Yeah, here I will put AOCCC. Okay. Come on. Tell me one example. I'll just give you a break in 5 minutes. Tell me class of transaction, one example. Salary, sales, interest, whatever it is. Take salary. Amount, you call it as accuracy, or you can call it as measurement too. Accuracy, measurement, valuation. Now, whether it has actually taken place, what you call occurrence. Now, whether it belongs to the current year, cut off. Then, whether it has been properly shown on the proper accounts, classification. Finally, nothing should be omitted, which is complete. Notes to accounts. Last one, before the break. Notes to accounts is nothing but it's a mixture of P&L account and balance sheet, right? Am I right? It's a mix of both balance sheet and P&L account. So, notes to accounts, what? If it is amount, you call it as accuracy and valuation. Amount. Accuracy, where is that? Valuation. Now, whether it is actually there, occurrence, rights and obligation. Add a support, then what? Whether they have shown properly, classification. In a way, it is understandable. Understandability. Nothing should be omitted. Can you reply which is the last assertion in notes to account disclosure? Complete. So guys, are we clear with the assertions with respect to account balance, class of transaction and disclosures? Makla, put a smiley, if you are okay and if you understood and if you got a revision of the concept. So before I give you the break, can I ask you one or two questions with respect to this so that I just understand whether you guys understood the okay. So yes. Eda, why do you obtain external confirmation from confirming party? Can you reply? Why do you obtain external confirmation from confirming party? Come on. To check which assertion you obtain it. To check which assertion you obtain external confirmation from confirming party. It is mainly to check the existence. Right? Now, one more question. Why do you check the aging analysis of debtors? Aging analysis of debtors. Aging analysis of debtors. Why? To verify which assertion we do that. Aging analysis of debtors. Unless you know the aging, you can't put the provision. After you put provision, debtors like provision, less provision, that will be the amount of debtors. So which assertion? Valuation. Okay, are we clear with it? Measurement, that's right. Maria, that's also right. Valuation is the better term. Yes. So that's it, guys. So after the break, okay. So with that, we'll go for the break. After the break, what are we going to do? Okay, 1 second. Okay, after the break, what we will do is one RTP, one we will do RTP, descriptive questions. After that, let's go for CARO. RTP MCQ is already done, guys. I hope you have seen the last session. If not, you can just check out. And then after that, CARO. I don't think so. After that, we'll get time. 1:45 is the target time. Can you give the reply? Already it's more than 1.5 hours past since we have started today. Are we all clear? Are you happy with this much? Smile, Plare. Why so much of head weight? Oh, I know exam tension, but don't be so tensed, okay? You have to be tense to an extent, but take care of your health also. Okay. So will you guys join back in 15 minutes? Will you guys join back? Okay, so come back 15 minutes, right? So it's now 11:36. So 11:51 we'll start. Okay, so 15 minutes break. So come back double strong. Hello. Welcome back. Can we start? Okay. So, yes, all back. So, can we start with RTP? RTP, the second part. The second part is with respect to, yeah, the second part is with respect to descriptive question. And as you know, 70%, 70 marks in our exam is regarding the descriptive. Bigile Mukyam, descriptive is very, very, very important. We have already completed with respect to MCQs. So let's proceed with the descriptive. All set. So let's revise each topic and then we'll go. Let's not just say the answers and go. Let's revise each topic. And from chapter number 1 till chapter number 11, it's there. Okay. So each chapter, it will be a small revision also. Okay. So ready. If ready, put ready. Come on, let's start. Let's bash. So if it is a direct question, I won't explain much. I'll just say what topic and I'll explain that topic and I'll go. Okay. Keep supporting. Chapter 1. Chapter 1, the name itself is Nature, Objective and Scope of Audit. Now, one small thing, whenever a big question comes, just see the question size. It's big, no? If possible for the exam also, start reading from the last sentence. You know, the last sentence will have the what the question wants. They will say in the last sentence. Just read the last sentence. In this context, outline the objective of an independent audit conducted in accordance with standards on auditing. Now you can read above. Okay. M Motors Limited is a leading Indian automobile manufacturer with many offering across commercial passengers and electric vehicles. The company is pioneering India's electric vehicle transition and enjoys considerable advantage in one of the fastest growing automotive markets. GR and Associates have been appointed as its statutory auditors for the financial year. J&K are newly appointed audit assistants in the firm and are part of team for the purpose of the audit. However, they are confused as to what they intend to achieve. They perceive audit as a guarantee against which errors or frauds in FS. Do you agree? Ada, so come on. It is nothing but your essay. Hey, let's revise the concept. Essay 200. As per essay 200, we are going to give only a, and I can easily show the answer and go. But I wanted you to say, and we have to revise. That's why. Reasonable assurance, meaning we are only going to express an opinion. Our objective is to report and to communicate. Objective, communicate as per essays. Reasonable assurance means it's a high level of assurance, not a absolute nor guarantee. And there is a flow of audit, which we said in the last session. First, you will perform your audit procedure. From audit procedure, can you reply what is the next step? From audit procedure, come on, next step, you will obtain sufficient and appropriate, obtain audit evidence you will obtain, In evidence, you will evaluate. After evaluation, you will form a conclusion and you will give your opinion. So as an auditor, our objective is to evaluate the misstatement as per SA 450, and if there is misstatement, you have to, what you will do, you will modify your opinion. So this is the answer. Are we clear? Did you get the keywords? See, merely I can show you the answer and I can run away. But run away means I can go to the next. I'm really sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, I can go to the next, but I don't want to proceed like that unless we are clear with the concepts. So if you are okay with it, can you say Q2? If question number 1 is okay, kindly say question number 2. Q2, Q2, Q2. Standards on auditing apply in audit of historical financial information, whereas standards on review apply in review of historical financial. Explain in detail, giving the example. Eda, now in classes also we have said difference between audit and review, difference between reasonable assurance, absolute limited assurance. Now they want little different. Now what they wanted the difference between not audit and review, not limited and reasonable. They want the difference between SA and SRE. What they wanted is difference between SA and SRE. Now both these cases, can you say what is the common thing in SA and SRE? What is the common thing? And a common thing is both these are related to historical financial info. Now, can you say the difference? SA is applicable for audit, SRE review. Anything else? Here you will obtain only a, no, here you will obtain reasonable, which is a high level. Here you will obtain limited assurance. Here you will perform more and extensive procedure, SA. Whereas in SRE, you will perform, come on, fewer procedure. Fewer or not audit procedure, fewer or lesser procedure. One more difference they are saying, audit you will reduce the risk to a, come on, reduce to an acceptable, what level? Acceptable low level. Why? Because we are performing more procedure. Here you can reduce the risk to an acceptable level. It may not be a low level. You know why? Because only few procedure. And did you understand these 5 difference between audit, SA and review? Not 5, 4 difference. Now, not only that, they wanted with some examples. Example, come on. Examples. Hey guys, example if you hear, come on. Essay example, essay 200, overall objective, 230. I'm just saying example which they have given. Audit documentation, 315, risk assessment, 500, evidence, 700 reporting. But SRE only 2 SRE, which is 2400 and 2410. Are we clear with it? Well, I just mark that question because in the material and the books, we have discussed audit and review difference, limited assurance and reasonable assurance difference. This is difference between SA and SRE. So with that, chapter number 1 is done. So guys, other than this, is there any other doubt which you have in chapter number 1? If so, let me know. I will pause for 1 minute. If you have any other doubt in chapter number 1, let me know so that I can clear and then move on to next chapter. So mark that question, okay? Question number 2. If that is clear, no other doubt, let me know by saying chapter 2. I'm just waiting for your doubts and for your rest to get over. Okay, if that is clear, let me know by saying 2. Okay. See, whether to write it in para or write it in column. Grishma, is that your question? See, if they're asking you to distinguish, you can always, I feel better to write it in column. But here, they are asking you to explain in detail. So I think you can write it in para itself. For your understanding only, I've written it as column. But had they asked you to write the distinguished difference, then it would be better to write it in column. Is that clear? Correct. If that is clear and no other doubts other than her doubt, can we go to chapter 2, audit strategy, planning and program, guys? Come on, put chapter 2. Okay, so the others. Okay. Chapter 2 is mainly, so chapter 1, which essay did we revise? I mean, which essay was covered? Mainly essay 200, overall objective. Now in chapter 2, it's talking about audit strategy planning program. Which essay is audit strategy planning program? It is nothing but it is essay 300, planning and audit of FS. Okay, so going with chapter 2 question. Preliminary engagement activity include certain activity to be performed by an auditor while planning an audit. Discuss such activity briefly. How performing such activity assist an auditor? If such a question you get for the exam, it's like a lottery ticket. You know why? It's a direct question. Can you say the answer? Before even planning, there are 3 preliminary engagement activity. And our client comes, preliminary, before even you plan. Do you need him? Veno, vendio, venuma, vendama. Do you need him? Do we need him? First one, acceptance and procedures regarding acceptance and continuation. Continuation of client relationship. Okay, you have accepted him. Once accepted, you will see, okay, if I accept this audit, whether you can comply with ethical requirements, integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional competence, professional behavior. Okay. Then you will agree on the terms of engagement. This is nothing but essay 220 quality control. This is ethical requirement issued by Ethical Standard Board, International Ethical Standard Board. This is nothing but essay 210. Unless you do this, you won't be able to plan and perform the audit. These three activities together, you call it as P. What is P? Preliminary engagement activity. After this only, planning strategy will come. Okay, did you get the flow? Whether to accept the client? If so, ethical requirement? If so, you will agree on the terms and then you will plan and do this audit. Makle, are we clear with Q3? If so, can I have your thing by saying 4? I think totally 25 questions are there. We have to finish and then discuss Caro. Life is a race. Run, 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 run. Okay. The assistant of CAK is assigned the responsibility of, look, drafting the audit program relating to purchases appearing in the financial statements of broad industries, a partnership firm. The said firm is GST registered taxpayer and engaged in manufacturing and packing of the special type of paper taxable under GST. Help him by drafting a sample audit program. Audit program for what, guys? Purchases. Now there is a format for audit program. If possible, study that format and keep. Before going to audit program, what are the things which you will look into purchases? Can you reply? What are the things you will look into purchases? Come on. Purchases slab. What will you check? Come on, guys. Purchases slab. Now, if there is a purchases, you will check the purchase invoice. Items in FS, vouching verification. What will you check? Invoice. Then you will trace it into books. So they are saying GST, GST. So you will trace it to GST portal, GST returns. Then they are saying this is a manufacturing entity. If it is manufacturing entity, they should have cost records, stock records. These 4 points. You can even obtain confirmation from the creditors, whatever it is. That's also right. These are the 5 basic points you will check while doing audit of purchases now. Now just look at ICAI's answer. Program drafting how? Did you see that program drafting? See the format? They have asked you to draft the audit program. They have asked you to draft the audit program. Drafting, they have asked you to do. So in the drafting, how you will put the heading? Let's study that format. Don't by heart, just study the format. Audit program heading, name of the entity, which year, prepared by whom, reviewed by whom, approved by. Put the heading, name of the entity, which year, prepared by, reviewed by, approved by. Then the procedure. Same procedure only we said. We said invoice you have to check. Check into books, GST portal and returns, stock record. Then we added confirmation. Heda, can you reply whether you understood? See, this points you can write that it will change. It can be sales, it can be purchases, it can be traveling expense, it can be anything else. But this format you can study as such and keep because that will be more or less the same if you are asked to draft any program. Is that clear? Did you hear Kato, Ketingla? Did you hear that? Like drafting, a lot of things they can ask. drafting of opinion para, basis for opinion para, drafting of audit program, drafting of emphasis of matter para, other matter para, can, material uncertainty on going concern. So all these are the chances of drafting. So that format kindly study and keep. Achucho, my flow went, pillare. Come on, my flow went. Come on, come on, come on. Where were we? Flow gone, guys. Chapter number? Your flow also gone? Chapter number 2. So chapter 2 was audit strategy planning program. In that we were discussing about SA 300. In that strategy, then plan. Strategy is what to do, planning is how to do. Don't use these words. From that step-by-step procedure, instructions is called as the audit program. So in this chapter, which essay is covered? Essay 300. So I will pause for 1 minute, and I wanted you to just think of recall of chapter 3. Not chapter 3, chapter 2, essay 300. And any doubts, let me know. If so, after 1 minute, let me know by saying chapter 3. Recall, Pillare, come on. I know you might have some notes with you or something on your hand, so recall that. If you have any doubt, put it in the chat box. If not, put chapter 3. Let's proceed with chapter 3. I'm very sorry regarding sneezing. I'm having cold and sneezing. That's why I'm sorry regarding that. No doubts, guys? Chapter 2 clear? Pakka? If so, can I have your reply by saying chapter 3? Okay. No doubts. So, Vignesh, that is general audit procedure for construction of audit program. That's more or less general. But they can ask a 3 marks question from that. So just read it and keep it. That's more or less general points. Okay. Come on. Life is a race. Can we go? Risk assessment and internal control. Which essay will come to your mind when you hear risk assessment? Identifying and assessing risk of material misstatement. Reply, which is essay 315. Response to risk is essay 330. And now, which essay is also there? You won't respond to all risk. You will respond only to material risk. So materiality. So 315 is identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement through understanding the entity and its environment. 330 is auditors' responses to assess risk. And 320 is materiality in planning and performing the audit. Now in this chapter, there is internal control, including IFC under Companies Act, internal financial control. Then you also have another topic, which is automated environment, including digital audit. Okay. So can we go to Q5? Satranka Foods Private Limited is engaged in manufacturing of pickle. Lunchtime. Come on. The auditors of the company have planned procedures in respect of recognition of revenue of the company. Despite that, there is a possibility of misstatements in revenue recognition. Now listen, not identified by audit procedures. Now explain the particular risk in detail. Now may I have your reply? See, let me clarify one doubt which many students ask. Audit risk is basically addressed in essay 315. But essay 200 is mother essay. In that also, essay 200 is overall objective. In that also they say audit risk cannot be reduced to 0, but it should be reduced to acceptable level. So this audit risk is there in both essay 200 and 315, but mainly it is 315. The audit risk is divided into how many elements? Inherent risk, control risk, and detection risk. Now, can you identify which risk is here? Audit procedure does not detect the misstatements, meaning my procedure, our procedure does not detect, our procedure fails. So which risk is there? Here it is, very good, detection risk. Now detection risk has how many elements, Pulare? Come on. How many elements are there? 2 elements, which is sampling risk and one more, non-sampling risk. The sampling risk and non-sampling risk. Which other essay came to your mind? Sampling risk and non-sampling risk. Which other essay came to your mind? Risk of selecting an inappropriate sample. Essay 530. So what you have to do is, here you have to explain detection risk, where audit procedure does not detect the misstatements. In that you have to explain sampling risk, where auditor's conclusion based on sample is not based on the entire population. Non-sampling risk, erroneous conclusion for a reason other than sample. So these 3 things you have to explain: detection risk, sampling risk, non-sampling. See, here there is no conclusion, nothing like that. Here you just put the heading. You start off with the heading, audit risk. And for every descriptive question, it's always better to start off with the heading. Heading you put, then you write as per essay, then you explain detection risk, then you come to 2 types. Maklai, did you hear that? Kanmani, come on, did you hear that? Always start the descriptive with a heading. Just for presentation's sake. If 5 clear, may I know by saying 6? Add 6. IT related risk have an impact on audit. In what different ways such risk may have impact on audit of FS? This is which portion of auditing? Which portion of auditing? Automated environment. In that they say 2 things, like risk will be there in automated environment. Because of that, there will be impact on what? They wanted the impact on audit of FS. Impact will be there on, first, impact will be there on test of control. Why? You can't rely on automated control. You can't rely on automated control. So you have to perform additional work. More work you need to perform. Second, that is impact on control. Second, impact on control means, second, impact on SAP. SAP means substantive checking. What is substantive checking? How it is impacted, guys? How it is impacted? You can't blindly rely on reply. Blindly you can't rely on the data. You can't reliance you can't place on data. So you have to check for more accuracy and completeness. Come on, keywords. So again, this would lead to more checking. So that is the impact on substantive procedure. Finally, at our last one, can you reply? Test of control, we said substantive procedure. One more. Impact on audit procedure. How it will impact the audit procedure, Pillare? How? Impact on procedure. Impact on audit procedures means not procedure, reporting. Yeah, that's all. Impact on reporting. See, we have to report on IFC. It may even lead to some kind of modification. So, IT can impact test of controls, it can impact substantive testing, as well as it can impact the last part, which is reporting. So that's about the chapter number 3 RTP questions regarding the risk assessment and internal control. Here 315, 330 and 320 internal control and automated environment. Can you just recall in 1 minute that chapter? Any other doubt? Security. Lanka. Like why security? See, when control is weak, IFC, internal financial control, you'll report, and ultimately there will be a modification we have to report. So better to say these words. Keyword is very important. So security is right, but when you write for the exam, we have to use the keywords in our material itself. That's why. Is that clear? If we change the word, we won't get the mark, right? That's the issue. But if you use the word, you will get also. Edda, can you just put in the chat box if it is okay, okay. If it is doubt, doubt. If you have completed rest of 1 minute, proceed to chapter 4. So take rest, guys. Others? Okay. So can we proceed to the chapter 4? No doubts? And our audit risk has 3 elements: IR, inherent risk, control risk, detection risk. Risk of material misstatement has only 2 components: inherent risk and control risk. Okay. So with that, can we go to the next one, guys? Come on. Chapter 4. We've reached till 4. It's already 12:30. Come on. Are all there? Let me see whether any doubt. No. Okay, and what is chapter number 4 all about? Come on. Chapter number 4. Chapter number 4 is nothing but audit evidence. One of the important chapter. In this chapter, there is essay 500, 501. I think we have revised 505, 510, 520, 530, 550. 650 and 610. For the upcoming exam, 610 seems to be very important. A lot of questions are there here and there. So double concentration when you revise 610. Okay, may I proceed with Q7, question 7? Okay. CA Kanika audited the books of accounts of Engineering Limited for the financial year 22-23. The auditor used a procedure according to which all, documents and records maintained by the company were checked in detail to obtain evidence. Explain the procedure used by the auditor. Comment on the reliability of evidence obtained by performing an audit procedure in some situations. Eda, this is which essay related question? Audit evidence, na? So it is essay. Guys, you can reply. Which is essay 500. See if there is inquiry, inspection, observation, confirmation, recalculation, reperformance, analytical. Documents and records, you call it as inspection. Right? Now, reliability of inspection. Very good, Altaf. So inspections reliability. Very good. All are saying correctly. Inspections reliability will be different. How inspections reliability will be different? It will differ from based on nature of evidence, based on source of evidence. You remember source, internal or it can be external. Internal evidence is less reliable, external is more reliable. Now, example, you can do test of control. You can do inspection by inspecting control document. Now, for test of details, you can inspect assets, invoice, asset register, etc. Did you understand this? Even, yeah, asset inventory, etc. But when you hear inventory, which other essay will come to your mind from chapter 4? Inventory, na? Inventory is essay 501, even Caro clause number 2. So chapter number 4, we have 4 questions. Unlike other chapters, only 2 questions. Here there are 4. So if this is clear, may I have a reply saying Q8? Okay. CAJ is conducting the statutory audit of Gemini Limited engaged in manufacturing pharma products. Company is fairly large one and was well functioning. Look, internal audit department. Now when you hear internal audit department, SA 610, CARO, etc. should come. Even section 138 of Companies Act. While considering sending of external confirmation, come on, Kanmanis, come on, essay, external confirmation, essay 505. Request you to take trade receivables outstanding as on the date of FS J. Now here, J delegated the process of choosing trade receivables, deciding the request, receiving the response from customers to internal audit department. Then why is he there? Responses are also received on email of internal audit department. Now what they want is the approach of J proper. Can you say, we said internal audit is essay 610. Basically, which essay related question is it? Is it 505 you need to quote, or you need to quote essay 610? Which essays basically you need to quote in the exam? If such a question comes for 3 or 4 marks. Descriptive is basically for 3-4 marks, 3 or 4. But which one you have to quote? And it is essay 505. In essay 505, there is a sentence. Auditor has to maintain what? Maintain. Come on. Maintain control over external confirmation. 4 points are there. There is a flow for which all information you should obtain confirmation. Then you have to select the confirming party. Then auditor has to design and he has to send and he has to do the follow up. Here in this case, delegated, and if it is something, can you just delegate or take assistance of internal auditor for one work, like just assembling some information? Is that okay? Tell me yes, no. Just delegating a part, like assembling the information, yeah, that's fine. But here it's like entire work he is delegating. Delegating entire confirmation procedure is not as per essay 505. Therefore, these are not in alignment of requirements of essay 505. You can seek the assistance of internal auditor. It's just an assistance, help, like assembling some information. Kutti, small help you can take. Here it's like entire process you are delegating. So it is incorrect. So even though it is essay 610 also related, but this particular question is relating to 505. Makla, are you able to follow this? Yeah, Altaf, you're right. You can ask their help in drafting. That you can do, a slight help. Like in monotonous area, like, routine area that involve low judgment, that you can take. Makla, can you put Q9? After Q9 and Q10, we will have a break of 3 or 4 minutes. Okay. Q9. Where? Here. The newly appointed auditor of BTN Limited wants to obtain sufficient and appropriate evidence whether opening balance contain misstatement that materially affects the current period assessed. What audit procedure should he perform for this purpose? Reply. Which essay? Opening balance, when you hear, it is essay 510 only. 710 will also come, that's different case. Here it is opening balance 510. Newly appointed auditor, so it is an initial audit. Newly appointed auditor, it is a what engagement? Initial audit engagement. So as an auditor, what you have to do? Your objective is, so let's revise that. Your objective is 2 points. What are those 2 points? 1, you should obtain sufficient and appropriate evidence regarding what? Opening balance, which is nothing but closing balance of prior period. Second, what? Accounting policies are dash applied. And what applied? Consistently applied. So for doing that, what is the procedure you have to follow? So for doing that, you will first ascertain whether prior period are audited. Now, if prior period are audited, you will obtain a copy from them. Copy of prior period FS, predecessor's audit report. You will see whether there is any modifications. When you read, you have to perform audit procedures. Okay. So here you are doing specific audit procedures on what balance? On opening balance. This is nothing but essay 5-10 points. See here, when you write these points in there, someone was asking me earlier. Here, when you write these steps, you can put 1, 2, 3, 4. Initially, when you start as per essay 5-10, start as a para. When you write the points, you can write 1, 2, 3, 4. Flare, are we clear with this? If so, after next question, I will give you the small break of 4 minutes here itself. 10. It's a direct question. 10th one. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Life is a race. Run, 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 run. SPR Limited has been into media business since 2001. During the previous year, 2022-23, many notices has been received by the company for hurting public sentiments. You requested the management for arranging the meeting with the legal counsel. Management is of the view that meeting are necessary in certain circumstances only. Can you list down the circumstance? And now I want reply. Can you say which question, which essay related question is it? Case file, case, litigation and claim. So it is essay 501, litigation and claims. Communicating with entities legal counsel, mandatory in 3 cases. Okay. These circumstances. What are those circumstances? Yo, they have hit me, they have quarreled with me for each and everything. Like a small kid, you can go and talk with them. 3 cases. What are those 3 cases? You know, only when there is that case involves significant risk. Second, matter is so complex. Now there is a disagreement with management and the council. Otherwise, you will do it yourself. You don't need to talk with the legal counsel. So here also, you need not give a conclusion. Start by giving an introductory para. Put the heading, intro para as per 501. List down the circumstance. These 3 are very specific. Learn the keywords, don't change the keywords. So can you take a rest of 3 to 4 minutes and then let me know. Any doubt in chapter 4? In chapter 4, we were basically saying from essay 500, 501, 505, 510, 520, 530, 550, which is evidence. Then 610. 610 seems to be very important. Careful. Okay, 4 chapters are over. 5 to 11. Okay, how's things going? I'm not just reading and going, I'm just explaining the relevant provisions of that particular question so that it will be a revision of that concept also. Things are going okay? It's a rest time, so that's why I'm just talking. Okay, Anna. Any other issues? Let's talk. No, rest time, but let's talk other than this. Eh? Is there any other issue you face other than those three things? Forgetting, not portion is not moving. What was the third issue we said? What was the third issue we said? Forgetting, portion is not moving. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Is there any other issue other than that? If so, let me know. If I can, I will give you some insights on it. There's items in FS. Guys, all there? All good? What's up? If you're ready, just 2 more minutes. Let me know by saying chapter 5, which is items in FS. And before we start, let me say items in FS is a chapter which is huge. But one thing is there, have a proper grip on assertions. Then in this chapter, there are, I think, there are a list of law provisions which you have to learn. Study that list properly. Then there are certain accounting standards, not certain, almost many accounting standards. If you have seen MTP1, and I've asked you to see MTP1, video is also there. MTP1, the first question was from AS22. So accounting standards, very important. Okay. And then there is CARO provisions, essay provisions. More of this chapter is like a more of what to say, common sense. So once you have a proper grip of CARO and essay, assertions, this chapter is half done. Meaning rest of the chapter is nothing but law and AS, accounting standard. If you're ready, come on. Can you say chapter 5, CH5, chapter 5, so that we can start? Okay. Shall we start? Proceedings have been initiated under the company against false claim for holding Binami property under. Eda, when you hear Binami property, anything came to your mind? Binami property, Binami. Chapter number 5, there is a disclosure requirements as per Schedule 3 AFRF disclosure. Anything else came to your mind when you heard about Binami? Makla, Caro, Kanmani, Caro, clause number 1. But Caro is auditor. Chapter number 5, that disclosure requirement is management. Continue. It is not recorded in the books of account. As a consultant to the company, what will you advise the company as a disclosure requirement as far as financial statements are concerned? Now read it and say, is it CARO or is it chapter number 5? Can you reply? Will you write CARO or will you go for chapter number 5 disclosure requirements? Is it CARO or is it chapter number 5 points? CARO is auditor's duty. Here they are saying disclosure requirements. Disclosure requirements means it is management's responsibility. So it is not CARO. It is chapter number 5. If you have seen in chapter number 5, for those who have attended, I've given a list of disclosure requirements. 5 to 6 list is there. Very important. In that, one of the thing is Binami. In the Binami, you have to say details of property under Binami. Then what? Amount. Then who are the beneficiaries? If property is not company's name or not stated in the books, why? If there is any proceedings, details of proceedings, nature of proceedings. So now don't be misguided by saying it is CARO. Since it is disclosure requirements, it's not CARO. Had they asked you auditor's responsibility, then CARO. Did you understand that? Okay. If question 11 clear, can we go to question 12? 11 clear. 12? Read it. Drama Shoes Private Limited was established in the year 22-23 for the manufacture of footwear. As funds were needed to carry out on business activity, including for purchase of different raw material, incurring of regular expense like power, fuel, and wages payments, it has got sanctions a credit facility amounting to 2 crore, repayable on demand from the bank against primary security of its current assets and collateral. Duly signed guarantee document by director also form part of bank's documentation. Account statement of above was downloaded. It shows debit balance of 1.85 crores. The operations in above credit facilities are satisfactory. The above credit facilities, how it should be reflected and what are the requirements. And you have the knowledge of bank also, bank audit. Can you say, not required, I just said. Can you say, in the books of the company, not bank, is it an asset or is it a liability? Debit balance, is it an asset or is it a liability? Can you reply in the chat box? Is it an asset or is it a liability? Debit balance, overdrawn. So it is a, come on, it is a liability. So where it will be shown? Balance sheet, where it will be shown, guys? Where it will be shown? Since you said it is a liability, it will be shown where? It will be shown on the liability side. In liability, where it will be shown under current. It will be shown under current liabilities. Okay, you said liabilities, good. Under which liability? Current liabilities, very good. It will be shown under current liabilities, very good. In current liabilities, there is something called as, is it short term or long term? In bank audit, we say usually overdraft and CC, I mean cash credit is secured by stock and debtors. It is short term, which shown under short term borrowings as secured. Repeat, liability, current liability, short term borrowings as secured. So that's the first part. how it will be classified. And who has given the guarantee over here? Director, no? So it should be disclosed whenever related party, director, whenever it is guaranteed by them, it should be properly disclosed. So disclosure requirement, what is the nature of security? And fact that it is guaranteed by director. Now you remember whenever there is a related party, it should be disclosed. Other than that, disclosure requirement. The simple application of Schedule 3, even common sense, debit balance, debit, not debit balance in bank statement. So it's a liability. Eda, are we clear with it? If clear, can you say 13? With that, chapter number 5 is done. Oh, time is running, huh? Chapter number 5, last question, 13. Following is the extract of notes to accounts for the financial year of STU Private Limited for listing some ratios. Discuss disclosure given in the following manner. Ignore other ratios. I said no, some disclosure requirements very important. One was Binami. Another thing in our list is ratio. Do you remember something which we have learned in chapter 5, ratios? At our ratios, we should disclose the calculation, what you have taken in the, come on, what you have taken in the numerator and what you have taken in the denominator. More importantly, whenever there is a change, current year and previous year, whenever the change is more than dash percentage from previous year, explanation should be given. Can you reply whenever the changes more than, whenever numerics comes, listen very carefully. They can test you in MCQs specifically. Can you reply whenever the changes, how much percentage, whenever the changes, whenever the changes more than, yeah, that's right, 25%. Okay, 1 second. 25% explanation should be given. Okay. So guys, can you just see which all ratio should be explained here? And can you just calculate the change if you have the calculator somewhat? 2.3, 2.5. Here change is only 0.2 divided by 2.3 into 100. I think somewhere around 8.7 or 8.69%. Here change is 3. 6. Change is 50%. Here changes, minus it, no? Help me out. 3.25 by 5. 3.25. More than 50%. 65 something like that. 3 by 10. 30%. So which all ratios is having more than 25%? Inventory, trade receivables, net profit. So these 3 ratios has to be shown separately with the explanation. Why? Because changes more than 25% with the comparison with the previous. Did you understand that? May I have your reply? So, Eda, so let me conclude with chapter number 5. Chapter number 5, don't omit it. It's a big chapter, but the thing is, it's more of common sense. Assertions, law, AS, various other essay. If you see how do you do the audit of inventory, many points of essay 501 will come. How do you do audit of debtors, trade receivables, trade payables, 505 confirmation will come. CARO provisions are there. So chapter number 5 is like a summary of all the portions. And it's important also. Rather than teaching, you can just read, because it's a summary of many other topics. But disclosure requirements, there is a list which you have to learn. Very important. Then law provisions, there is a few things that you have to learn. AS also. Eda, we have reached till chapter number. Wow, wow, wow. We have reached till chapter number 5. Ma'am, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 6 more. But the majority of questions are over. You know what? We are not just discussing the question, we are revising that particular topic. That's why this much time. The revision session also, right? I can't just say the topic and go. We have to revise. So if all good, after taking a rest of 1 minute, let me know by saying 6. Come on, guys, chapter 6. Okay. At chapter 6 is audit documentation, record of procedures, evidence and conclusion. It is nothing but essay 230. The audit documentation is referred in other places. Can you guess which other places audit documentation is referred other than in chapter number 6? It's a part of quality control. So it's there in chapter 11. SQC. Okay, read it with me. Rajini, a CA student, has understood that 230 requires auditor to prepare documentation on a timely basis. While reading about the SQC1, she noticed that time limit for completion of final file is not more than 60 days. That we also know. She finds it is puzzling. Unable to understand, she seeks your guidance. Makla, help her out. Kanmani, help her out. Now, I will revise the topic once I finish. If you understood, give me a thumbs up in the chat box. As per SA 230, assembly of audit file should be done on a timely basis as and when the audit progresses. This is mainly required for quality control purpose also. Why? Mainly to facilitate review and evaluation. Timely basis, you have to file it. Timely basis means not more than 60 days, as they said. Now, it is only a dash process. What process? It's only an administrative process, okay, where no new procedures, no new conclusion. This documentation should be easily accessible and easily retrievable. Now, this is also part of your quality control as per SQC1. It's a part of PPP policies and procedures of the. So they're asking you to guide her. There is no conclusion as such, right? But I had asked you to give me a thumbs up if you understood it. Larry, come on. That was just a revision. And we said there is no new procedure, no new conclusion. Can we delete a file, discard a file? That's there. Some addition, deletion, discard, that you can do. All good? That was question number. Thank you, Amina. Okay, Grishma. Okay, Altaf. Others? 15th is a direct question, guys. So I'll just discuss that concept and leave it off. There are 2 or 3 types of documentation. We'll revise that. And can you reply in the chat box? All the folders relating to a particular engagement is called as what? All the documentation relating to a particular engagement is called as? All the documentation relating to a particular engagement is called as audit file. Now, draft observation, those draft observation by the assistants, you call it as audit notebook. Now, what is this completion memoranda? You call it as audit completion memoranda. Now, they are asking you to explain that. What is this audit completion memoranda, Pillare? It is nothing but summary file. Now, what is this? Dash matters. What matters? Significant matter. For which type of audit they will maintain this? Large and complex audit. Now, why they maintain this? Mainly for inspection and for future assistance. So it's a summary file of significant matter maintained for large and complex audit. It helps in inspection and future assistance. So that's about chapter number 6, which is nothing but essay 2. Essay 230 is very easy and simple standard. Chapter 6 is very kutti chapter, small. Plare, all good. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh. So the number of questions is just 10 more questions. I think 25 questions in total. Only 10 questions. Wow. With that entire paper descriptive you have done. Pat on your back. Wow, wow, wow. Not only entire paper, we have been discussing the provisions too. And then the guy is, what is this? Makla, if you are ready, put RRR in the chat box. Come on, come on, come on, put RRR. Let's bash. What is this? Ah. Start. Thank you, Shreyas. CAK is the statutory auditor of DEMA Private Limited for the year. Company has 3 plants in India. He is nearing completion of audit procedures. Yet to sign the report and are not yet given the report. Meanwhile, huge fire broke out. A substantial part of the machinery resulting in a loss. State, now what they want, state few procedures to be performed by him to obtain sufficient and appropriate evidence for, this is the keyword, identifying such events. And also explain auditor's responsibilities in this case. Makla, which essay is it? Oh, I didn't say, right? Chapter 7, the essay 560 is there, subsequent events, 570 going concern, 580 written representation, 260 TCWG, 265 Deficiencies in IC to be communicated with TCWG and management through letter of weakness, and 450 evaluation of misstatement. So this question relates to 560, which is subsequent events. Now, there are 3 timelines. There is revising, no? Audit procedure, between audit report date and FS date, after audit report date, but before it is issued, after it is issued. This falls in which timeline? First one. Yet to sign. So in that, they wanted what are the procedures in identifying the events. And there are 5 procedures as such. Can you say what are those 5 procedures as such? The usual procedure. First, you will inquire. Hey guys, management. Now, obtain written representation. SA 580. Then you will read the MB, minutes book. Then you will read the latest interim FS. Then you will also understand management procedures. Is that all which they have asked? Is that all? Avlodana. They wanted one more thing from this. What? Auditor's responsibility. What is that? It is, since we have not yet signed the report, you have to obtain sufficient and appropriate evidence whether this has been properly adjusted or 2 words. Can you say the next word? Adjusted or disclosed in FS, meaning reflected in FS. All these keywords are there in the notes. See, first you have to understand which timeline it falls. Then you have to elaborate. Pillare, can you reply whether this is okay? If okay, say 17, only one more question. With that, chapter 7 is done, done. Okay, next one. Then a CA student is a part of the team conducting audit of an entity. The procedure is nearing completion. He noticed that engagement partner, say 220 we learned, asked for cash flow forecast. Cash flow from the management for, now comes the crux, 12 months. Discuss the likely purpose for the partner in this situation. Elaborate the significance. State any 2 procedure in relation to the cash flow. Okay, why an auditor wants the cash flow? Why? That took the 12 months from the date of FS. We are doing the audit of historical. Why as an auditor wants the cash flow statement? Now there is a clue here itself. 12 months, no. So what? To evaluate the going concern, which is say 5. Very good, Subhi. Essay 570. Not only in that, Caro is also there. Caro will live which clause? Clause number. There is no material uncertainty in the next 1 year. Foreseeable future. Caro clause number 90. As an auditor, for seeing going concern as per SA 570, Caro reporting, we have to verify the cash flow statement. Now, here you have to elaborate SA 570 objective. Look like 570 objective. You remember? Obtain evidence whether going concern is appropriate. Second, whether there is any material uncertainty that may cast a significant doubt on going concern based on events and condition. If so, auditor has to report. So that's the first part answer. That's right, Gauri. That's the first part. Why you are saying cash flow? Can you reply this? Like they've given the cash flow, what you will do with the cash flow? What you will do? You'll simply sit and see the cash flow and okay, you will say no. You have to perform the procedures, na? What procedures you will do, Pulare? Come on, come on, come on. What procedures you will do? Management has given you the cash flow for the next 12 months. What you will do? First, whether they have the capacity to generate. Then you will also check the assumptions. If you remember in SA 570, you have to check the feasibility. Management assumptions auditor has to check. Did you understand? Oh, can you reply? So these are the two procedures which you will see. Whether they can actually generate these cash flow, whether the data is proper, and whether the assumption are valid, feasible. With that, chapter number 7, done, which is nothing but SA 560, 570, 580. Audit evidence series, subsequent events, going concern, written representation. 260, 265. Communication TCWG, deficiencies in internal control. 450 is evaluation. Makkale, why so serious? Kanmanis, come on, guys. Unstoppables, smile, no? This much we have done. At times you can smile. So take rest and let me know. 8, 9, 10, 18, 19. Only 8 questions. Not a simple question, just 3 pages. No, 2 pages. Mind blur, I know you guys at this point will be tense, but still, come on. At least for me, smile. And after your smile, wow, looking so beautiful, so elegant, just looking like a wow. So after this, let me know by saying chapter 8. So that we can start. It's already 1:15, only half an hour. Mostly Caro will go. So can we go to chapter 8? Chapter 8 is audit report. Audit report means which series, guys? 700 forming an opinion, 700 series, 700 forming an opinion and reporting on FS, unmodified opinion. 701 is scam, key audit matter. 705, and already we have revised in last session, that's what I'm just saying. 705 modification, 706, emphasis of matter para, other matter para, 705 qualified adverse disclaimer. And 710 comparative info, corresponding figures, comparative financial statement. Here you have section 143. 143 of Companies Act, subsection 1 to 15. And CARO. CARO is like wherever you go, I'm here. Many places it's there that way. First question is so simple. Mention some examples where auditor considered it's necessary to include emphasis of matter para. Now, which essay related Q is it? Which essay related question? Say essay 706. In essay 706, you have EOMP, OMP, emphasis of matter para, other matter para. In emphasis of matter para, you are just emphasizing a matter properly presented or disclosed in FS. So can you say few cases? Example, subsequent events, pending litigation, then what? Then early application of a new accounting standards. Yes, when you think of the cases, you have to think of a cases where something which is properly, not modification. If it is modification, 705. It's not key audit matter, 701. Now, there was a huge catastrophe. Catastrophe means disaster, which is properly disclosed. If not disclosed, you will modify. So first, how will you present? Put the heading, give an intro para as per essay 706 intro para, and list these examples. They have written some example, at least write 3 or 4 examples. And if it is clear, can we go to 19? I think only one more question. Life is a race, guys. Run, 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 run. 19. CAS, while conducting the audit of an entity, facing few issues. He has not been provided with necessary attending inventory procedures. Managers not provide him address of customers. Essay 505. He is not able to verify revenue. He is asking the bills for sampling and they are giving lame excuses. The above matter was brought to the notice of management. No way. Management is also not following. CAS has come to the conclusion that the possible effect on FS of undetected misstatement would be material. And in such case, qualified opinion would be inadequate. Meaning, pora, pata, it's not enough. How auditor should proceed in such case? Now I want your answer. 2 answers I want. Which essay? What will you do? I want your reply with respect to 2 things. Which essay? 705. What will you do? They themselves say qualification is inappropriate. So you will give up. A lot of things is unavailable. It's not adverse. Disclaimer. Now, when we discussed the disclaimer, we said an option. He can either what? He can either withdraw from engagement. Before you withdraw, what you have to do, we said 2 things. 1, communicate. 2nd, determine legal and regulatory reporting requirements. And so either you give disclaimer of opinion or you withdraw. If you withdraw, communicate. Yeah, communicate with TCWG. TCWG, essay. 260. So guys, with that, chapter number 8 is over. Basically, it is 700 series, 700, 701, 705, 706, 710, all reporting standards from forming the opinion till comparative information. 143 is Companies Act. Even though Company Audit is deleted, 143 is still there. In 143, auditors' duties. In that branch audit, they have given separately. Branch audit, link it with SA 600. But in this chapter, SA 600 is there. Using the work of another auditor, one more SA is there. Can you say which essay? Joint auditor. Essay number, please. 299. And finally, CARO. CARO has 21 clauses. Applicability, it's applicable to all company except 5 companies. So guys, take rest. After that, we have only 20 minutes up. Mostly CARO won't happen. A video is there in my channel. If you want, you can check out that. I'm really sorry because we were discussing and we were recapping. But let's finish off RPP. Yeah? Only this much. So guys, support. If this is clear, can we go to chapter 9? Can you put ready for chapter 9? And chapter 9 is about audit of different type of entities. Okay. This is like items in FS. This is also common sense chapter where you have 14 or 15 audits, starting with cinema, hotel, hospital, education, club, charitable, trust societies, lot of things. LLP audit, firm audit, sole proprietor, hire purchase, leasing, government audit, then local body audit. Okay. These are the main audits which is there. In that government audit, in that about C&AG, very important, especially expenditure audit is a frequently asked one. In local body audit, the objective of local body audit is a frequently asked one. So just saying about government audit, anything can be asked. In cinema, hotel, hospital, education, in that, if you see the trend, they don't ask you the entire audit of cinema, entire hospital, they don't ask. They will ask very specifically. You are the auditor of a cinema. What are the points to be kept while checking the receipts of cinema? Specific. So when you study it specifically. Answer also specifically. When they're asking the receipts, don't write check the purchase of film from distributor. Okay. Guys, ready? Put ready? Pilfering is one of the greatest problems in hotel. Hot left? Lunchtime. And the importance of internal control cannot be undermined. Explain. Okay, there is something called as indirect type of question. There is a heading though. Pilferage and leakage. In hotel, there will be like chota theft, pilferage, leakage. Customers will steal. Okay, pilferage and leakage is one of the important concerns in the hotel. Okay, for reducing the pilferage, there should be proper what hotel has to implement the internal control. Who has to implement the internal control? Management. While internal controls, or if internal controls are implemented, it will reduce what? We'll write minimize the pilferage or leakage. It will reduce, or it won't reduce to zero, but still, due to inherent limitations of internal control, it won't be zero. Now, pilferage should be checked with the scale, sales. How much sales, how much pilferage? There's a ratio calculation, ratio. If it is more, analytical procedure, if the difference is more, Now, what auditor will do? May I know that word? If the difference is unacceptable, auditor will, say 520, analytical auditor will investigate the deviation. Now, for that, he will check with reference to kitchen order tickets, then whether taxes collected from the occupants have been deposited. If it is still unexplained, auditor will, management is not explaining, auditor will modify. Modify, it's say, not say. So can you reply whether you understood? If you understood, put understood you. See, pilferage and leakage is one of the issue which hotels face, so there should be proper control. Control has to be implemented by the management to minimize this leakage. So they compare with sales ratios. If difference is more investigation. So they will, if there is a deviation, you have to inquire management. For that, you will check with KOT, kitchen order ticket, taxes, unexplained is there. Even after inquiring, we will modify. Modify 7 not. So even though it looks to be, what question, but the point we know. Makla, can we go to 21? This is your accounting standard 19. So I'll just refer and go. I won't explain in detail. From lessee's perspective, lessee, not lessor. What are the main differences between operating lease and financial lease? Makla, yes. I have written. Now what to ask? 19. Now there is 2 lease, operating lease and financial lease. Since you guys are expert, I'll just say, which lease is like a rent agreement? Can you reply in the chat box? Which lease is just like a rent agreement? Can you reply which is like a rent agreement? Operating lease. Financial lease is more like a loan agreement. Here you don't show it in the balance sheet of lessee. Here you will show it in the balance sheet. Where you will show the depreciation, Makla reply, where you will show the depreciation, is it operating lease or financial lease? Here you will show the depreciation. Here, no depreciation as such shown. Now, what is the tax benefit in operating lease? Operating lease expense paid is the tax benefit. Whereas in financial lease, what is the tax benefit? Interest and depreciation. So that's just the application of your AS 19. So I'm not going into detail. Settano, settacha, Kanmanis. Come on, Pulare. Are we guys set with chapter number 9? See, both these questions are like indirect question. One they asked in pilferage, another is regarding lease. Nothing from the main topic. So at times questions can come from the topic like this indirectly. Don't worry, write it in a way that you know it and present it properly. There are only 4 more questions. With that, we will end. Come on. 4 questions. Take rest for 1 minute and put audit of bank and ethics. Take rest, Polare, then put chapter 10. Chapter 10, no? Okay, ready for chapter 10? Come on, guys, only 4 questions. Let's bash. Guys, life is a race. Come on. Only 4 questions, 20, 20, 24, 25. While conducting the statutory audit of a branch of a nationalized bank, it's noticed that Z, credit facilities generated to a borrower consists of term loan has been classified as substandard during the year due to failure of borrower to pay EMI on time. Such EMIs were outstanding for more than 90 days, therefore classified as substandard. ICAI also agreed to the above classification made by the branch. What are the responsibilities regarding compliance of? First, you should have read the last part. Income recognition norms. There is something called as prudential norm. Asset classification, income recognition, provisioning. Can we revise income recognition? What is income recognition norms? What it said? Whenever an asset becomes NPA, may I have that keyword? Whenever asset becomes NPA, you need to dash the income which is recognized and credited to P&L. Income recognized and credited to P&L should be reversed. The accrued income credited and taken to P&L should be reversed. Second thing, this reversal will include even fees, commission, etc. That should be also reversed, including prior period. Not only that, once it is NPA, it will be recognized further on what basis, cash basis or receipt. Okay, isn't that simple? Say, one income recognition norm, you know, that's easy. Once an asset becomes NPA, income recognized credited to P&L should be reversed, including the fees commission on that, including prior period. Then further it should be recognized on cash or receipt. Something interesting is coming. I wanted you to calculate and put it in the chat box. Guys, I wanted you to put in the chat box the answer for the next question. Will you guys do that for me? I will be waiting. While verifying the provisions of advances of a branch as a part of the statutory branch audit, is that notices the credit facility consisting were classified under doubtful D1. Okay, doubtful has doubtful 1, 2, 3. The outstanding loan account was 50 lakhs. Value of security was 40 lakhs. They had made a provision 7.5. Is the provision made by the branch proper? Discuss. Makla, can you calculate and put it in the chat box, the reply? I'm waiting. How much provision should have been made? How much provision should have been made? I'm waiting for your reply. Let me know. I will also do. It is doubtful one. Doubtful one means you should have put the provision of 25% if it is secured. If it is unsecured portion, it is 100%. 40 lakhs secured. So 40 lakhs, 25%, which comes to 10 lakhs. Unsecured is 50 to 40 is secured, remaining 100%. So 10 lakhs. So total provision is 20 lakhs. They have made only provision of 7.5. So there is a shortage of 12.5. Very good, Altaf. Others, did you get the answer? 20 lakhs should have been the provision. So How will you conclude? The required provision is 20 lakhs. There is a shortage of provision. It's not 7.5 lakh. Required provision is 20 lakh. That's the Audit of Bank chapter. In that, advances bigile mukyam. Very, very, very important is advances. If you see both these questions here, it is advances. MCQ can be asked with respect to audit. Who appoints the auditor, remuneration, reporting. If nationalized bank, separate reporting has to be given. See, if I say wants to make the exam tough, like this they can do. See, from unimportant or unexpected area, they will ask. So always think exam will be even from unexpected and go. Let's not get shocked and let's not, when we read the question, don't spoil your writing mood. Okay. Makla, if this is clear, may I know chapter only 6 minutes for us to end. Come on, come on, come on. Last 6 minutes. We have been seeing for 8 hours now. Come on. Can we proceed? Chapter 11. Chapter 11 is ethics and terms of engagement. Here they are talking about ethics, moral principles, ethical requirement, integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional behavior, professional competence. Threats, self-interest, we have already discussed, right? Self-interest, self-review, advocacy, familiarity, intimidation. Then they're talking about professional skepticism, etc. Can you say agreeing on the terms of engagement, which is the engagement letter? Engagement letter, SA 210. Then quality control, SQC 1 and 220. Both these are quality control. SQC is at firm level. This is engagement level. Makla, can you give me last, Freddy? Last. That's it. Now we'll see only in the finals. Last inter. Wow. Come on. Ready? All set. Take off. Give me ready. RR. CX has been offered audit of FS of TKD Industries. Prior to accepting the offer, he insists obtaining an agreement. When you hear this, you'll remember engagement letter, SA 210. However, management is of the view that auditor's duty is to detect the misstatements, and such insistence by auditor is totally uncalled. Whose view is proper? Also discuss the reasons for arriving at the conclusion. What should be the course of action? Makla, 3 questions are there. Whose views is proper? Auditor. What is the course of action? What is your conclusion? And how will you present this answer? As per SA 210. Agreeing on the terms of engagement. I will recap SA 210. If you understood, give me thumbs up. Agreeing on the terms of engagement. Objective of engagement letter. 1, to establish precondition. Next, to have a common understanding. Now, preconditions. AFRF should be acceptable, obtained from management regarding his responsibilities, access to the books, unrestricted access to people, additional info. If preconditions are not satisfied, auditor shall not accept the audit unless required by Come on, say laws and regulation. So in the given case, management view is not proper. As per SA 210, auditor should obtain an agreement from management. Likely course of action is you should not accept unless required by law. Now the entire chapters are getting over. Last question. Come on, let's finish off in the timeline. 25, 2 minutes only. Come on, come on, come on. Last question. SA 220 is premised on the basis that firm is subject to SQC1. What do you understand by this statement in the context of SA 220? Makle, see, SA 220 SQC1. SQC1 is at the firm level, 220 is at the engagement level. Now, here it is applicable for audit, review, assurance, related services. Here it is only for audit. This is more general and this is more specific. Now, unless firm has PPP, policies and procedure, can an engagement partner implement it for an audit? You say, unless the firm has a policies and procedure, can an engagement partner implement for an audit? No. So engagement partner has the responsibility. I'm saying engagement partner has the responsibility to implement the quality control of the firm for an engagement. The given statement is valid. Unless the firm has a quality control, how you can implement for an audit? Makla, look at the time. With that, 1:45. With that, entire auditing, even though it is RTP 25 questions, but I don't know how much time we took. We have revised and did all the questions. How was it? I didn't just show you the answers and we didn't go. We were revising that concept also. Are we happy? Come on, put a reply in the chat box. All good? So guys, this time we have a golden opportunity because our exams, it's only on May 15th, inter exams. After May 11th, you have 3.5 days. Okay, I've given a schedule also. 3.5 days time is there. Have a proper schedule. If you have a schedule with it, go with that. Otherwise, you can check out the schedule and in the 3.5 days, you can complete the entire auditing. Usually students have a complaint of, ma'am, before the exam, we are not able to revise. Had we revised the entire auditing, we would have remembered for the exam. This time you have a golden opportunity. So make maximum utilization of those opportunities and let's, when the result comes, let's hear those 4 words. PASS, only those 4 words when the May 24 exam, whenever the results come, let those 4 words come and as soon as possible, let's see in final. So once again, thank you, because even though it's a YouTube live, there are a lot of students who are constantly supporting and love you all. You guys were so wonderful in replying. And I'm really sorry today I was not so well, so I was sneezing in between. Excuse me for that. And yes, as I've already told you, if you have any doubts, if you want any schedules of auditing, you can always get in touch with me. For any doubts of auditing, you can get in touch. Okay. So any other concerns, any other doubts, let me know. So with that, our audit sessions, 2 sessions we have planned. One was in April 22nd and today it is over. So yes, those who are watching these videos, you can just put how the session was. You can put in the comment box, or if there is any other doubt also, you can personally let me know. I will be happy to clear your doubts. So thank you, SICASA, also for this opportunity. And yes, all the very best. Without tensions, without thinking about the results, study, 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 revise, revise, revise. Don't think about forgetting. It will come to your mind, and trust the process. It will turn out well. Okay. So thank you one and all. So I hope all good. Okay. So take care.